Now that we've created the cells that we want to use for our subsurface utilities feature definition, we need to create a DGN library that will load the cells for us. So I'm going to go to the File menu, click New, and type a name for the new DGN library file. Click Save. Now the cells are called in from element templates. The first thing we'll do is we'll just go to the element menu and click on cells. Just turn on display all cells in path. Let's just confirm that our cells are being loaded. Yep, here they are. So there's the plan cell, the 3D top cell and the 3D bottom cell, so that we can see that because we've placed that cell file in the Bentley Civil workspace, the cells are being loaded. So now I can go to element templates. So there's the current design file. So if I click on now, I can go right mouse click and select new template group. Just type in a name. Now I've got the template group, I need to create some new templates. Within it, and set up the symbology that I want to use, and then right mouse click, go add cell name, and then scroll down and pick the cell I want. So this is the plan symbology I'm defining here, so I need to pick the plan cell. We copy that, three times, so that I can define the symbology for the profile. The 3D top cell and the 3D bottom cell. Now because, let's do the 3D top, there, and the 3D bottom. Now because the 3D cell is being constructed using these two cells, in profile I don't actually need to specify a cell, because in a profile view we will actually slice the 3D cells. If it was just a simple water valve or a standard sort of fitting, I could use a cell, but if I don't use a cell, we'll slice the 3D model to display in profile and section. So, new template group, and then below that 4 templates, one for the plan, one for the profile, one for the top 3D, and one for the bottom 3D. In actual fact, in the profile view we can remove the cell category. So that's the cells being called in by the element templates. The final step is the feature definition, which calls the element templates. So if I go to Project Explorer, because we're running one of the civil products, MX in this case, or Inroads Geopack Power Civil, we've got extra tabs available in the Project Explorer. So I can get to Project Explorer from the File menu. There it is. So let me just dock this a second. So here's our current design file. If I click the plus button to expand it, we can see in the tree we've got feature definitions, and at the moment there's nothing in there. So if I click on feature definitions, right mouse click, and say new category. Right click on that, rename, type in a name, then right mouse click on that, and I want to create a new feature definition, and this is going to be a node feature definition. Let's just rename the category, because I might have more than just comms, I might have other cabinets for other types of utility. Now if I select the comms cabinet feature definition, in element information we can set up the information that we need to for it. So starting with the utility type, what kind of utility are we going to create here? It is communications in this case. Name prefix, I might type C for communications perhaps. What type of structure is it? Well, yeah, it could be an access point in this particular case. What type of communications network is it? So I can select from the list or define my own if I want to. So I can go for fibre optic for example there. And then here's where we select the element templates. So for the planner, if I click the browse, here's our feature definition, sorry, here's our element template here. So comms cabinet, plan. So the element template for the profile, comms cabinet, profile, element template for the 3D top, comms cabinet 3D top, and finally the 3D bottom. So as you can see, there's three aspects to a feature definition. There's the cells, which are here. Then the cells are called by the element template, and we have four of those for plan, profile, 3D top and 3D bottom, and then the element templates are called by the feature definition, which also describes the utility type and so on. While we're working on our DGN library, we might also want to create a feature definition for a pipe or a duct. So we can do that. If I go up to feature definitions, right mouse click, go new category, right mouse click on that and rename. We could call this one something generic, conduits perhaps. Right mouse click on that, we'll say new feature definition, conduit. We can rename this one, maybe comms ducts. Now as we can see from element information, we have the settings available to us now for this feature definition. Now it's important to get the utility type correct. We're creating ducting in this case for our comms cabinet, so the cabinet and the duct need to both have the same utility type. You can't mix and match the utility types, they need to be synchronized. Now we can fill in other properties, perhaps the name prefix, D for duct. We can specify a trench template if we want. I won't in this case. The function, the network type, and so on and so forth. If we come down to the conduit table, click the browse button. This is where we specify the individual sizes of our conduits. So if I click the new button, I might perhaps have a 100mm duct. Specify the inside diameter and the thickness, and perhaps specify a second one. Type in a description, inside diameter, and another thickness. And then if I scroll across to the right hand end, the minimum cover here, I might want to reduce that to something more applicable for a duct, and close that panel. Now note here that the conduit feature definitions also use element templates, so we can go and set up some element templates for our conduits. So again, we can create a new group. Conduits. Rename. This time round we need 3 element templates. Just select the level there. So 3 element templates for flat plan, profile, 3D. We don't need any cells here because the shape of the conduit is defined here. So the element templates for conduits are slightly more simple. So let's just select them. So for the plan, profile, and the 3D. Finally, we need to save our design file as a DGN library. So we change the extension here to the file type. We can select DGN lib. Now again, I need to think about where I'm going to put this DGN library. So I'm going to browse to my civil workspace again. In this case I'm in creating metric library, and in here we've got a DGN lib folder, and I can place my library in there. I need to get that DGN library loaded automatically when the civil product starts. Now one way to do this is to load it from a config file. Now I've just opened a Windows Explorer and I've browsed to where in this case MX is installed, but it would be the same for Inroads or PowerCivil or Geopack. And underneath the product install folder, there's a subfolder for Subsurface Utilities Engineering, and in there there's a config file that I'm going to edit to load the DGN lib. So there's the config file. If I open that in Notepad, you can see the content there. So we can see that this this config file is being used to load feature definitions. I just need to add one to it. So I'm going to copy that line in the config. And type in the name of the file. That, and then copy this second line for the level library and element template and paste in the name of the library. So as you can see, the same library file, the DGN library file, is used twice, once for the feature definitions and once for the level library and element templates, because both lots of information are stored in the same file. So I can now save that file. And I'm now going to close the product and restart it, because the config files are only loaded when the product starts.